Hey everybody, Will with Strong Turf here. Today we have an interesting project. For the last year or so, down here on my 36 V-Ride, this is where the oil drain valve would go, and then it would go down through that hole and drain the oil out of here. However, the top of that valve was leaking from over the years over tightening and over loosening it. Well, in the process of trying to replace that, I realized that I cannot get this insert out of here without lifting the engine off of the frame. So, in order to repair it, it's going to be a multiple hour job. But I figured if I have to lift the engine up, I might as well take it completely off and clean up underneath here. I mean, you can see how much greasy gunk has built up under there over the last couple years. So I'm gonna just pull the engine off and give it a real good scrub down and hopefully keep it in better shape going forward. But let me show you what my repair for that drain valve is gonna be. I picked up this Kawasaki flexible oil drain hose. There's the part number, and it fits apparently all these models. On the 36, I have a FX600V, and then my 52, I believe, is an FT730V. So I got two of these, and just threads right in there to the block, and it's got a little cap on the end with an O-ring, and you can zip tie it up if you want, or you can just let it hang. I think it's short enough to just let it hang, but we'll see. So this is what I'm installing in place of that leaky drain valve, because apparently that's a common issue on these Scags with the Kawasaki. So let's get started. I guess the first step is we've got to start disconnecting our cables and all these little things that are gonna hang us up. So we're gonna start by disconnecting those. So matter of fact, first things first, I disconnected the battery terminals just so I don't get any sparks when I go messing with this starter. But a big piece of advice I can give you is take notes. Take as many notes as you possibly can. Every single step that you do. So I've got drain oil, remove oil filter, disconnect battery from terminals, and then I got all my wires going to the starter. So, you know, I've got this yellow wire, I got this green wire, I got a black wire that goes up underneath there. It's impossible to take too many notes. Always take notes. And then over here I got some baggies. All the bolts that I take out, I'm going to put in these baggies, and I'm going to label them just so I don't lose them. I mean, take your time with something like this, pulling an engine. You really do not want to mess something up, so you literally cannot be too careful. But like I said, I got the battery disconnected. I disconnected this set of wires from the harness. I could probably leave some of these on here, but like this red one, for example, had to come off with the red one that goes to the battery. This yellow one can stay on up here. I'm just gonna pull that with the block. The other red and white one there just go up and get attached to the block. But this black one underneath, that might be able to stay, but we might pull that off just to be safe, because there's also this black wire up underneath here that comes from the battery that we got to get in there with a ratchet and a socket and get that off. So we're gonna work on that next. So I've got that bolt out at the bottom of the block there. See if I can slide my finger. It goes right there where the two black wires connect to the block. Now I've got all these wires loose, and I can just let these kind of hang whenever I pull the engine up out of here. I'm going to get this harness kind of out of the way, but it's got this little wire on top that's zip tied to it, and runs right over the starter, goes around this spark plug wire, and then kind of just terminates. And as far as I know, I mean, I'm the first owner of this mower, and this wire is just kind of sitting here. I don't know why it's wrapped up around there, but I guess when we put it back, we'll do it the same. I mean, I don't know what purpose that's for, but we're gonna snip this zip tie, get this wire out of here, and get this harness out of here, and just put it back that way, just so we don't pinch anything when we go to put this thing back. So next, I'm gonna keep working on this right side here. I've disconnected this air line from the intake manifold there. That line just went right on there, and we're gonna tuck it out of the way. Now this project involves cutting a lot of zip ties, so we're gonna have to replace a whole lot of zip ties. But next, I'm gonna disconnect this fuel filter from where it goes into the fuel pump. And then, well, yeah, disconnect it here, and then I'm going to hopefully hang this up so it doesn't spill any fuel, or spill as minimal fuel as possible. But that's our next step, is just keep disconnecting everything from the engine. So we got our fuel filter disconnected there. And I think that's really about all for this right side that we need. Now I'm going to move on to the left side and do these choke and throttle cables. I think these will be pretty easy to take these screws out, free these up, and then just kind of rotate them out of those little slots that they're in. So yeah, I'm gonna undo these screws and see what that does. Yeah, so that choke and throttle came out pretty easy, and I got them just tucked over here. But you can follow them up and see where they go to. On this one, the top is the choke and the bottom is the throttle. So I marked that on my notes, just so I put them back in the right place. And I think that's about everything. This wire here is not really attached to the engine, and I think it's out of the way enough. But whenever we flip it up on its side, we'll see if we need to disconnect that. But now we get to go underneath and start undoing stuff underneath there. I believe I'm gonna have to take this belt off anyways, but I've got a replacement for it. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off now, just because I know it needs to be replaced. It's got that big chunk taken out of it, and I know it's not gonna last me this whole season. But here on this tensioner, I've got a 1/2-inch breaker bar. Slide it down into that slot, and I'm gonna do that, and it'll kind of release the tension on that belt, so I can take it off real easy. But it's attached to that, what do you call it, a drive pulley underneath there on the bottom of the engine. So I mean, we're gonna have to take this belt off anyways, so let's just do that now. So we're definitely gonna have to take this pulley off on the bottom side here. It's got these wires that run to it and go straight into that whatever you call it, a clutch or a pulley. But luckily it's got a little connector here that you can undo, and that connector ties into that connector that goes to the starter, or all the other stuff on that right side. And then there's where I disconnected that clutch from. And I noticed, as I'm up under here, it's got this little, I'll see if I can find it. This little, I guess you would call it a stopper. It's pretty loose. And these bolts on the top are kind of wiggling as I wiggle this thing. So we might need to tighten those down. But it kind of gives the whole thing some play. And I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's not supposed to be like that. But I think this assembly here just comes out with this single nut, or bolt, excuse me. I might be wrong, but I think we're gonna take that bolt out and see if this whole thing just drops out of there. Well, as I'm trying to get this bolt out, it's just spinning this belt that's up inside here, this drive belt. So we're gonna take that belt out first before we work on here. Luckily, there's another insert for a breaker bar, so we can release this tension and take off that belt. But make sure you take note of how this belt inside here is positioned, because this one has teeth or grooves, and you want to make sure that you know exactly how this belt is routed in here, because I don't think there's a diagram on. I mean, there's a diagram that tells you how to put the other one on, but I don't think there's a diagram to tell you how to do this one. So make sure you take pictures, take a bunch of pictures, take more than you need. But yeah, we're gonna reduce this tension, take that belt off, and then hopefully that makes it easier getting this out. Okay, I have got that belt loose, but I also had to take off this little piece that mounts under here and stops that clutch from spinning. It goes into that hole, if you remember, it was loose and I noticed it. Took that out, and now I should be able to maybe slide that belt up and out of there. It'll be easier with two hands, but now that that piece is out of the way, should be able to. Well, we got that belt off. Took a little bit of persuasion and a little bit of loosening that tensioner again to get it all the way off, but we got that little clutch keeper piece off. That's what I'm gonna call it, is the clutch keeper. But here's my tip also, is as you're doing this and you get done using a socket, put the socket back so that you don't have 15 sockets laying everywhere. You know, only pull one out at a time, because if you have a nice socket set like that, you want to keep it, and you want to keep it complete, you know. And then the other tip is get you one of these. This will make it go a whole lot smoother. So unfortunately, I got bad news. Really, the only way I could get to this bolt with enough torque is jacking the back of the mower up. And I tried using a few different tools here, you know, a little M12 impact, but we ended up having to use the big honcho with a wobble socket. And if you don't have a wobble socket, I got two words for you: Harbor Freight. But yeah, we got that bolt loosened up, and the lucky part is this crankshaft pulley above this clutch, it looks like the hole in the frame is big enough to slide that out of here. So I don't think we're gonna need to pull that pulley off, which is gonna be a huge blessing. But I think after I get this bolt out of here the rest of the way, I think this clutch will be able to just slide right down and off of there. And then undo the mounting bolts for the engine. And I believe there should be 4 mounting bolts. And once that's off, then I think we should be able to just lift this thing up and out of there. Fingers crossed. All right, well, next update, I got the clutch out. I got that bolt and the washer out with the impact, and then I sprayed some WD-40 on the middle of this shaft right here. Just very, very liberally, just sprayed a crap ton of WD-40. And I took the hammer and just beat it a few times on the bottom side with the hammer, and that clutch just fell right up out of there. So now we've got our clutch out, and I think we'll have enough clearance to pull the pulley with the engine. Now I just gotta find these mounting bolts. I see one right there, I believe. Should be 3 more. So I'll do those 4 and then see what we gotta do next. Okay, well, I got the first 2 engine mounting bolts out on that left side. I think this one here, let me see if I can get to it. Might be blurry. This one here that attaches to the tensioner with the spring, I but but that's only the third bolt that I found. But whenever I tighten this spring, put my breaker bar in there and pull it, it opens up a space like this pulley moves. So there might be another bolt underneath there, but I think this might be the third and final one. But I think we got to take this spring out first. So we're gonna get this spring off of here, take this bolt out, take this whole orange assembly, tensioner assembly out. And then we can kind of move this pulley around and see if there's a fourth bolt. But first things first. So we got that spring taken off. Got this whole assembly taken out, and that pulley came with it. Let's give a lift on this engine and see if there's one more bolt. Yep, there's a fourth one somewhere. I knew there's a fourth one. So let's see where it's at. I bet you, yep, underneath all that gunk, I believe that's our fourth one. Let's get that up out of there. All right, so there's the 3 mounting bolts along with this one. And remember, we're taking notes, so wherever my notes flew off to, I'm gonna add that to my notes. But now, let's see if that freed up this engine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, now we just gotta pull it up out of there. All right, we pulled that engine up out of there. It really wasn't too heavy. If I had to guess, maybe, I don't know, 80 pounds, 100 pounds. It really wasn't that bad. I just moved it by myself from there to here, and I could have gone farther with it if I needed to, but now we can get up in here and clean up all this junk. Look how caked that is. Oh yeah, it's gonna feel nice to clean all that out. And then, because we were taking notes here, whenever we go to install it back, if we can even read it with all this gunk, we'll just go backwards up the list to install everything back. So if this video helped you out, please consider leaving me a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this type of stuff, and leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'll try to answer as best I can. And this is Will with Strong Turf, and I appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of your day. Well, I'm up here at the car wash, and I figured I'd add this in here. I just got this whole area nice and washed up underneath here. I can't really get a good shot of it, but it's looking real nice and clean. And maybe I'll upload a part 2 to this of installing the engine back into here. But I am super happy with how this cleaned up. Oh yeah, she's all ready to go cut for 9 months.